Hello there, friends and RC family. My name is Alec from High Noon Hobbies, and if you're new to the channel, I very much appreciate you checking it out. I hope you'll stick around, watch at least this video, see if this content seems worth your while, and consider subscribing so that then I can say to you, if you aren't new here, welcome back to yet another Friday upload, this time back out at the beautiful Desert Mountain for a set of heavy hitters in the Class 3 Top 5 for the North vs. South Utah RC Crawling Championship 2023. We'll start off with Zach C. in his RC Speedy R2 Moon Buggy build. Definitely a awesome representation of scale in this competition scene. Keeping it real with the scale buggy. I absolutely love it. And then we will finish off with Cameron. Everyone that knows the channel has come to know and love both Cameron's driving abilities and building skill. Just seeing all of that come together is always awesome, and it's fun to watch him on the course as well. If you aren't familiar with Class 3, you can sort of equate it to a competition buggy such as this in real life. That's easy to say as well, or easy to see here, as Zach's rig actually looks like a legitimate competition buggy that you would see in an event such as We Rock, which is definitely fun, and I enjoy watching rigs like this personally going on the course. I just think it's fun to see the actual tube rigs do the same type of work that some less scale options, shall we say, are doing. And obviously, every time you go towards the scale side of things, you are taking a trade-off in performance. That's just the way it goes. And so it's really fun to see just the driver be able to compensate for that, and really the amount of time that goes into tuning, testing, and becoming familiar with the rig so you can compete at the level of these crazy flat rail builds that are all over Class 3 and Class 2 these days as well. Zach Campbell, definitely a competitive driver here. He's always dialed in, super focused on his rig, super focused on the line throughout the entirety of his course runs. You can always tell that he is putting in 100% focus. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for him, but more often than not, as I say that, more often than not, hey, and a great recovery. He's able to really work his way through, even though he is working at a bit of a disadvantage with the full scale rig type of deal like he's got going on here with the RC Speedy R2. Not to say that the R2 is by any means an incompetent or an incapable rig. It is actually quite impressive what this rig is able to accomplish, even if you just drop in a Capra kit, which you can do. That's actually what I did, and you can watch the video for that on my channel as well. Coming into the halfway mark, or just past the halfway mark now on the course with a plus 11. Zach has skipped the lower bonus at this point, which we've seen in the previous videos of this top 5 shootout. The competitors did manage to hit that bonus, or did decide to hit that bonus a little bit early in the course. Let's see how that pans out for Zach here, but making it over that gate there with just a single reverse is a solid outcome. We've seen that gate definitely stuff up other competitors in the top 5. Taking a brief pause there to fix the number 7 gate. This is another tough gate, just a difficult entry, working with gravity, obviously, but gravity really kind of taking away some of your ability to control your descent into this nasty crack, having to really work your way around that upper cone, and then worry about working your way around the lower cone, both kind of in inconvenient places for getting a stable descent through that crack. Zach making a great maneuver around both cones, but unfortunately kind of working against him at the end there, flipping his rig over in the dirt, having to take the upright there, bumping his score up to a plus 17. Going into gate number 8 here. One of those you just have to stay high on, really testing that side hilling capability. Not too difficult for these four-wheel steer rigs as long as the weighting is correct. Getting your axles around that lower cone isn't too tough. Unfortunately, that being said, this gate number 9 is not so. We've seen this also stuff up some other competitors with that lower boundary. And unfortunately, Zach, trying to really cut close to that lower cone, just slid a bit and ended up taking the gate. A great maneuver, though, going for the reverse instead of pounding it through and potentially hitting the boundary line down below. Definitely worthwhile to take that single point as opposed to open yourself up to taking 10 points. Sitting at a 28 now, certainly looking for those bonus points. Hitting the lower bonus now. We're towards the end of the course. We only have one more formal gate to hit, and pretty in line with Zach's driving habits. He is very early to the final gate, a 4:47 at the moment. Unfortunately, another rollover, having to take that upright off of the bonus, shaving that bonus down to a -5 versus a -10, but still a good outcome. I think still worth it to take that bonus there. Reversing all the way out of that bush and back up to gate 10, and then straighten himself out so he can get the best weighting possible as he approaches this seemingly impossible looking V-notch. But this is one thing that I think is very nice, Luke. One thing that I think is quite impressive about Zach's driving, he really just knows how to attack these V-notches, and you'll see that here. This obviously, with the arrow pointing from up above, you might think that the easiest way to get through this gate is from that upper section. We've seen other drivers do it in this top 5, and it's worked out for them, although not for everyone. If your side hilling capabilities are not quite there, that can be a difficult entry as well. So Zach doesn't want to take his chances with that side hill, working his way straight up through this notch. Really a tough spot right in here, though. This is the spot that's stuffed everyone up that's tried to come up the V-notch, and really impressive just how planted the rig is, the fact that it's able to work it so much, or Zach's able to work it so much to get it around there, and really an impressive outcome there, making it all the way through the V-notch. Nice. And Luke, I think he was quite excited to be able to judge that course. A 6:18 and a 24 score for Zach. Really quite impressive from what we've seen so far, but this top 5 is not over yet. We have plenty more to see, so we're going to hop right into the next driver, Cameron, from up north as well. Both of the drivers in this video from up north representing some serious talent. These drivers really put a lot of time and effort into their rigs, so anyone who makes it into the top 5, whether they're from the north or from the south, certainly has proven their worth throughout the season, and that is certainly represented here in this moment with Cameron's rig. I've personally seen Cameron put tons of time into testing and tuning this rig. He's got a test course in his basement where he is able to do some serious testing and modifying to his rigs, and it shows. It really does show. Cameron, always a pleasure to watch on the course. Headed through the first couple of gates there, and really quite uneventful. And that's saying something considering what we've seen from other competitors. This is definitely going well for Cameron so far. No news is good news on this portion of the course, and Cameron seems to be really working his way around quite well. Having some issues here with the switching back and forth. Cameron has some mixing set up on his controller where he's able to switch back and forth between different mixing settings for his steering, and I think it may have almost bitten him there. Looked like he was switching between different steering modes and potentially slid him down the rock a little bit more. Definitely something to consider if you're contemplating putting on similar memory settings here. Going to pause the time for a moment so that we can reposition. Driver doing very well so far, calling that timeout so he can really get the most advantage that he possibly can out of this rule set, right? If you are allowed a reposition, but bodily reposition that is, with a timeout, you got to call those timeouts. You really got to use all of your time as wisely as you can, especially when the courses are as difficult as they are in these top 5 shootouts. Again, no news is good news. Headed through past the middle section of the course. And we've got gate 6. This has stuffed up some other competitors. Let's see what happens here. A little bit of belly. Pushing, not looking great. A little bit of sliding happening. Taking a reverse. And a great maneuver using the dig there. Try to pull the front end up a little bit, but unfortunately we've got a call from a third party there. Looks like the cone was hit. So we're going to incur both a reverse and a gate for that number 6. Putting Cameron at an 11 here now. Kind of reining it in a little bit, getting it closer to Zach's score. Let's see how the rig handles the rest of this course. Really going to be a determining factor. Nothing is out of the question yet. Headed into what has become one of the more interesting gates to watch. You can see Luke peeking over the rock there as the judge really trying to get a good angle on it. And Logan, West Desert Wheeler filming from above. Certainly expecting some action through here, but Cameron says, nope, I'm staying planted. Throttle control, beautiful. Just an absolutely beautiful entry, and dealt with that obstacle with ease, and the exit looked like cake as well. Really just impressive. Heading into the upper bonus. This is one we've also seen go both ways. We'll see how it goes for Cameron here. Looking good so far. You can tell that overdrive really doing work through that middle section when the truck is kind of just having to drag that front end through. Headed into gate number 8. Again, just testing the side hill capabilities. I have no questions here that Cameron's rig is able to handle the side hill. It's just a matter of staying composed through there, and Cameron doing a great job of it. We're going to head up this section here. We've seen in previous videos a little issue with some ascending capabilities on Cameron's C3. Just not quite wanting to bite. So we're going to have to take a reverse there. And with just a little bit of momentum is all it took. But there's definitely a little bit of room for improvement on that ascension. Certainly saw other competitors roll right up that. I think maybe that could in part be due to the weight that Cameron runs on his rig. Certainly difficult to compensate for that weight. But the weight is incredibly advantageous, especially for moments like this where you're really trying to stay planted. Pushing all 4 tires over in a crab, trying to avoid that boundary, and a great job there. Avoiding both gate 9 and the boundary below gate 9. I believe that is the first time we've seen a competitor not get stuffed up in that section right there. Putting Cameron at a 12 at the moment, looking incredibly good. The score is the hottest we've seen, I believe, so far, and very impressive. A very impressive run indeed. Lower bonus here now. We've got both the upper bonus. Let's see if we can get both the upper and lower bonus. Throwing it into dig for just a moment. Definitely nice to have that dig so you can get that bite on those difficult ascents. Taking another pause here to take a look at the final gate. Again, take your time, right? If you are given the ability to take a time out and look at where you're going to go next, take full advantage of that. I think that's a great idea on Cameron's part. I really do think that's what competitors should be doing, right? Take every advantage you can get and Cameron uses that advantage to decide, you know what, I think it's going to be the high line for me this time. And I think that is, in this case, with the truck side hilling capability being a flat rail truck like this, I think this is the right call. Pushing in from the side, and use that overdrive to pull himself up and over. Using that rear steer once he's in this section right here just to push himself over on that side. And a beautiful finish with a +2 after both those bonuses. Not only a +2, but a +2 with less than 2 seconds to spare on my clock. Really impressive, great driving.
And that is some spectacular driving, and that, unfortunately, is all I have on this video for you, ladies and gentlemen, but I appreciate you stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed watching these runs. These were some spectacular runs, in my opinion. Obviously, we saw some incredible moves from Zach in that first run. A little bit of bad luck ended him with a slightly higher score, and then obvious, it speaks for itself. A 2 on this course from Cameron is absolutely incredible. So well done to both of those drivers. If you learned something or at least enjoyed the video, I hope that you will consider giving this video a like since you made it to the end here. And then if you want to see more content like this every single week, make sure to subscribe to the High Noon Hobby YouTube channel for more content like this every single Friday. Which reminds me, we will have yet another another top 5 class 3 part. The final part will be coming next week, so make sure to tune in for that so you can figure out who came out on top. I appreciate you all for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, though, enjoy some hard lines, maybe some scale trails, maybe some Suron, and maybe some FPV droning, or maybe something else really cool. Leave it down in the comment section down below what you're doing this weekend. I want to hear it, and, well, enjoy it. We'll see you soon. Cheers.